The blind date starts strong by asking if their kid can take her last name for a cool $1 million. He is totally down since pregnancy is tough, but then she drops a bomb and says she actually wants him to marry in. She offers $3 million for a matrilineal marriage, and when he casually agrees, she tries to lock him down. She asks if he is Lin K. He says yes, but wonders if anyone mentioned they were just supposed to be friends. He did not even know this was a blind date, making his previous agreements look absolutely wild. He thought they were just debating hypothetical marriage concepts, which he honestly fully agreed with. A guy in a teddy bear hoodie negotiating a $3 million dowry? She instantly loses her mind and splashes water on him. She storms off, leaving our wet boy to ask the waiter for a towel to clean up. Turns out he was just a hired stand-in. He calls his client for the payment, but the guy is being cheap. Lin Sheng demands an extra $500 because of the water splash embarrassment, threatening to snitch to his client's parents. The threat works perfectly, and he instantly gets a sweet deposit of 1,000 yuan instead. Suddenly, the school bell rings, dragging him back to real life. He calls his buddy Sun Young to bring some dry clothes to the school gate. Fully refreshed, his friend immediately hypes him up about a legendary new transfer student who just arrived. Everyone is saying she is drop-dead gorgeous and easily the next school flower. But get this, she is also a genius who ranked 3rd in the city, making the principal personally fetch her. No one knows why a top-tier student would transfer here right before the big exams. Before they can brainstorm any further, their strict teacher shows up and they have to bolt. She tells the class to focus before introducing the new girl, and boom, she walks in. Meet Qiao Jing, who looks so delicate and stunning that she immediately captures the entire room. But wait, she is staring straight at Lin Sheng. Is his main character plot armor finally kicking in? He brushes it off as a delusion, while she politely wraps up her introduction to the class. The teacher assigns her to sit near the back, and she gracefully takes her seat. Then the teacher shoots a warning glare at our boy, telling him not to distract the new genius. With that warning out of the way, class officially starts. Lin Sheng could care less about the school flower because he is busy seething over an online argument. He literally fought a random troll for 3 days straight and told him to pull up in person. And that online troll actually took it personally. Suddenly, Sun Yang runs in crying because some crazy guy just beat him up for knowing Lin Sheng. The bully claimed it was the price for hanging out with him, leaving Lin Sheng totally confused. He goes to find a teacher but gets blocked by a massive, angry, middle-aged man storming the school. Turns out this is the legendary CEO Wang, ready to throw hands. Lin Sheng flees for his life, shouting at the top of his lungs to lose the guy. This is wild! Who actually brings an online fight into real life like this? While hiding, he spots Qiao Jing, who quietly corrects him about some flowers and completely scares him. Staring into her eyes, he low-key thinks she must be the sweetest person alive. She recognizes him and asks for help, which he gladly offers since he knows the school well. She softly asks him where the cafeteria is. He gives directions, realizing the gorgeous school flower is actually super shy. But wait, he pointed her straight toward the school restrooms instead. He quickly chases after her, grabs her hand to stop her, and awkwardly introduces himself. She panics, begging him not to expose her on the school forum, giving him major leverage. He jokingly asks for compensation, offering to walk and eat with her every single day. She calls him out for rewarding himself, so he pivots and offers to be her local guide. She giggles at his excuses, but then asks how he knew she transferred from the neighboring city. Oh, just a little eavesdropping, huh? Sure, she claims she respects privacy and would never do that. Yeah, okay, totally believable. Qiao Jing literally tells Lin Sheng that if he likes the jasmine scent, she can send him the link to her body wash. Bro, no way! The amazing scent he smelled earlier was literally just her body wash, and she just blurted it out like that? But then he stops himself. There is no way a drop-dead gorgeous school beauty randomly falls for a regular guy. He needs to stop reading loser web novels. Honestly, having that kind of self-control means this guy is bound to succeed at literally anything. She thinks he is actually a pretty interesting guy. Youth is so beautiful. And then, boom, defeat screen pops up. Classic. Lin Sheng complains about his family micromanaging his life even though he is an adult, especially about renting his own place. His sister reminds him that she guaranteed their parents he would study hard, never stay out late, and be a good kid.
And he is like, wait, I am studying. Plus, how could a model student like me ever be a bad kid? But his sister is furious because he completely botched a blind date with an attending physician their parents absolutely loved.
Now her parents have completely blocked them. Talk about a total disaster, courtesy of his own little brother.
Lin Sheng tries to defend himself, saying he actually did her a favor by cleaning up the mess.
He tells her to chill. Sure, her reputation took a hit, but at least she gets a break from blind dates for a while. See, that is a total win for her. He jokingly demands another 1,000 yuan to apologize in person, which immediately gets him allowed get lost from his sister. He mumbles that with a temper like that, it is no wonder she is constantly pressured to get married. Suddenly, he spots someone familiar. Wait, what is she doing here? She immediately accuses him of stalking her, making him freak out. No shot, she is blaming him for this. He is completely speechless. He insists he is a good guy and has actually been playing games here for ages. He offers to buy her dinner as an apology, but she rejects him, worried he might drug her. His mind is blown by how dark her outlook on life is. She mentions her mom warned her about strangers, but he argues they are acquaintances. She hit back saying they are barely even friends. They only know their names, but Lin Sheng points out he is still her closest contact at school, unless she knows Wang Qian. Honestly, he always seems to take L's when dealing with this school beauty. It is like she was put on this earth just to counter him. Eventually, she realizes it is 10 at night and time to go home. But she complains about the computer gear being too dirty to touch. She asks him to log her out. Turns out this is her very first time at an internet cafe. She is socially anxious but surprisingly adventurous. He's amused she came to a PC bang completely alone without even knowing how to log off. When she asks what he is laughing at, he claims she just reminds him of his own innocent childhood. She immediately asks if he is insulting her. He smiles and tells her he is just calling her pure. What a wholesome moment. Things are getting interesting. He is low-key starting to like her vibe. Qiao Jing makes a mental note to get his contact info next time they meet. Lin Sheng offers her a ride, but she declines and tells him to turn off his blinding headlights. He jokes that the lights make him look cool, but she says he just looks like an idiot. He laughs and tells her to get on. He plays the gentleman card, claiming he cannot let a pure girl walk home alone at night. She tells him her neighborhood is Ziyu Huating, warning him not to say they live in the same complex or she will call him a stalker. He laughs it off, saying his bike wheel just hit a pebble, so there is no stalker business going on here. She thanks him, but suddenly the bike makes a weird sound. She panics, wondering if she somehow broke his ride. He realizes his brakes are acting up again, but she just gives him a cute encouragement, telling him it will be fine. The next morning, Lin Sheng wakes up wondering if dropping out would get him disowned by his parents. He checks the time and groans, seeing it is only 7 o'clock. Wait, does class start at 7:30? He totally forgot to change his alarm. He is absolutely cooked. She literally acts like she has never seen him before. Our boy is stunned because they literally gamed together last night. Now she tells him to wait 2 minutes before entering the classroom. She claims she would hang out elsewhere, but school gossip is just brutal. Honestly, she's actually looking out for him so he does not get targeted. Lin Sheng is low-key confused because this school beauty is surprisingly chill. She warns him that getting posted on the school forum is a massive headache. Then he realizes she is in his ride, but turns out it is just a carpool. What a crazy coincidence! Meanwhile, the school speaker announces the morning assembly is starting soon. The big event is scheduled to kick off at exactly 9 a.m. His buddy wakes him up, joking if his speech is about finding a wife. Lin Sheng admits he was actually gaming with the school beauty last night. His friend thinks he is completely delusional because she is the legendary Ice Queen. No one believes him, but even Lin Sheng is confused why she is so nice to him. Maybe she is just a visual lover. Hey, we all judge by looks first anyway. Out of nowhere, she hands him a carton of milk as a thank you. Bro, the entire classroom is absolutely stunned at this point. Lin Sheng is overthinking, wondering if this milk has some hidden romantic meaning. He gets incredibly nervous about how he should stand on stage later. Meanwhile, the teachers are gossiping about the legendary new transfer student who just arrived. When asked about his grades, the teacher says his academic power is unreal. He is literally on a godlike level.
Back in class, Qiao Jing suddenly asks if he is peeping at her.
He denies it, but she points out he was literally staring at her face.
Our boy smooth talks his way out, calling it appreciation of true beauty. She rolls her eyes just as she gets called up to the stage. She takes the mic looking like an absolute boss up there.
The crowd is swooning over how perfect and smart she is.
Lin Sheng admits that besides her sharp tongue, she is flawless. Next up is Lin Sheng, and he is not ready for this. He complains about the lack of hype for his intro, calling school a rigged game.
It is completely unfair for an all-around talent like him.
Someone calls him out, and things get a little chaotic. But he composes himself and begins his speech with total confidence. He starts delivering a shockingly professional and inspiring speech to the crowd. The principal and teachers are deeply impressed by this mysterious student. Bro, the crowd is absolutely loving his vibe right now. He just folded everyone with those smooth words.
Later, he wonders if she wants to sneak out to game again.
He jokes that her confessing to him is actually more likely. This is where their story gets incredibly interesting.
The tension between these two is just built different.
Will they actually become the ultimate power couple? We will have to wait and see what happens next. This is definitely a hidden gem you cannot miss. As evening falls over the campus, the sky starts turning dark.
Why is he looking so depressed after the assembly? Did someone expose him online again?
He was literally recording a video when old lady Zhang snuck up behind him and snatched his phone. His friend demands free milk tea since his phone got confiscated, but Lin Sheng tells him to keep dreaming.
Since the teacher is holding it until after the sports trials, his friend is basically out of luck.
Lin Sheng offers a backup phone. What a total bro moment.
Suddenly, Qiao Jing appears, telling a passing teacher she is heading to the store for supplies. The teacher warmly tells her to save her money and offers to just give her the paper. But when the teacher spots Lin Sheng, the vibe shifts instantly.
She accuses him of sneaking takeout and orders him to her office right after class.
After dealing with the teacher, Lin Sheng catches up with Qiao Jing to ask where she is headed.
She says he is walking toward the restroom, but he claims he is just washing his hands. He jokingly offers to stand guard at the door like a security guard, but she playfully calls him a total creep. He laughs it off, claiming he is innocent, before teasingly asking why she is ignoring her friend.
Qiao Jing explained she was just keeping her distance so they wouldn't both get caught and questioned. Hanging out with a troublemaker like him on her first day would definitely look bad.
She calls him a coward, asking why he cannot act like a bold web novel main character. Lin Sheng fires back that he is real, not some overpowered fiction character. He argues she told him to be bold, but she shoots that logic right down.
He jokes that being bold with a close friend is the best way anyway. She tells him not to flatter himself, but then asks what he's actually doing now.
To the store. He offers to guide her, but she insists she already knows where the school shop is. Lin Sheng suggests a much cheaper shop run by an old grandma just outside the school's west gate. She agrees to follow, but he immediately starts teasing her again, demanding she calls him his best friend. She laughs, thinking he is childish, but honestly, these two are too cute already. At the shop, Lin Sheng asks the owner how his stocking advice worked out. Since it went well, he suggests stocking ice cream next. He even lists popular celebrity-endorsed brands that students love to buy. The sweet grandma hands Qiao Jing some free snacks for being his friend. Honestly, this is where we see he is actually built different. He jokingly rattles off his personal details before she can even ask him anything. When she asks about the grandma, he claims he rescued her like a hero. He explains the shop was failing, so he helped her modernize it with trendy snacks and blind boxes. He targeted students with pocket money, making Qiao Jing realize how thoughtful he actually is. She admits she would have only bought a few extra things instead of saving a business. Taking on that kind of responsibility is terrifying, but Lin Sheng did it without hesitation. When she asks if he is always this brave, he just turns the compliment back on her.
He mentions her reputation as a cold beauty, but she thinks that title is useless.
Nah, that is actually crazy sweet. My heart is melting right now. Lin Sheng laughs, boasting that being his friend is a rare honor not just anyone gets. She jokes it feels like a cheap, free title you get from an NPC that just sits in inventory. Believe it or not, she asks why he wanted her to wait after class, insisting he accept her friend request.
He wrote a note saying the friend request expires in 24 hours, leaving her totally confused about when he even wrote it. She spots some tiny fine print on the note and wonders if it's some kind of joke. She calls Lin Sheng a complete weirdo for teasing her twice in one day before he even accepts her request. When she teases him for being a bad student pulling out his phone, he just flexes his school permission. He calls it an uncrossable gap between them, making her snap at him to stop flexing. She says chewing quietly in front of a starving person is basic manners, teasing him for being way too narcissistic.
Honestly, his confidence is off the charts, but he just laughs it off like it is nothing.
He asks if she is feeling insecure, teasing that she should leave before she ruins his stellar reputation. She refuses to be labeled as the school beauty simp, calling him a total psycho.
I swear their constant bickering is literally the cutest thing ever.
Suddenly, the scene shifts to her brother calling her to look up from across the table. She is completely baffled, wondering if her brother got possessed or something. She asks if he fell for a defendant in one of his lawsuits who's about to go to jail. Her brother tells her to stop reading trashy novels since her head is clearly full of pure drama. She guesses that something went wrong with his blind date again, and his face tells her she hit the jackpot.
It turns out her little stunt of posing as him got completely exposed to a family friend who wants answers.
She plays it cool, saying they won't blame a high schooler, so only he will get labeled a scumbag. But he drops a bomb. Their dad set up a dinner tonight, and she is being dragged along to apologize. He warns her that if she runs, he'll expose her secret late-night trips to the internet cafe to their parents.
She complains about how unfair he is, but he just tells her to show some respect to her brother.
Later that night, Lin Sheng offers to drop off some food and leave immediately if she prefers.
She tells him to wait at the Southgate Pavilion and promises to be there right away.
He teases her for looking like a fanboy, but he's actually just admiring her Hello Kitty pajamas.
When she asks for her ice cream, he offers her the only choice left, cantaloupe flavor. He explains the shop was closing, but she snaps back, asking why he even bothered to ask her preference. Lin Sheng asks if classmate Qiao Jing is mad, but she claims she's just thinking about a deep question.
She wonders aloud why he would bother delivering ice cream to her in the middle of the night. He jokes that it's because of his kind heart, but she immediately warns him not to lie.
He insists he is telling the absolute truth. She playfully curses him, saying that liars will never get rich in the future. He finally admits he just had a feeling she might want some ice cream tonight. She gets a bit flustered, realizing he came all this way just because of a hunch.
He says it is getting late and he should head home, prompting her to tease him about his curfew.
He counters that even bad students have a soft side, which good students who only study would never understand. He offers to walk her home, silently guessing her height is somewhere around 168 centimeters. He thinks to himself that she is so thin she probably looks shorter than she actually is. Realizing Qiao Jing is indeed super thin, he directly blurts out his guess of 168. She asks how he knew, and he points out her intense curiosity was practically written all over her face. She sighs in relief that he can't read minds, or her daydreams would be totally exposed.
He warns Qiao Jing that she is too skinny and needs to eat more so she doesn't fall sick.
He tells her to start eating with him at the cafeteria and joining him for night runs. He promises to supervise her health, but she gets flustered and tells him to let her go first. She threatens to expose Lin Sheng on the school confession wall, forcing him to back down immediately.
Having caught another weakness, she playfully tells him she won't let him walk her home anymore.
Alright, so her reputation is safe for now, especially since he is low-key taking her side. No night run today, but they can still grab a bite at the cafeteria together. The background music is literally giving pure romance webtoon vibes right now. Honestly, you can just feel the chemistry starting to cook between these two. They are just vibing, completely ignoring the rest of the world. But of course, in these school life dramas, peaceful moments never last.
Someone random spots Qiao Jing and asks her to buy them a cola, and she actually agrees.
Her friend teases her about running delivery, but she just fires right back at him. The special combo looks great, but adding seaweed soup makes it even better. Talk about special. Treatment. Then he suddenly asks her if she has any plans for the weekend. He suggests the internet cafe, but on Sunday he might do some knife runs to grind havoc coins. So he invites Qiao Jing to join him, and she actually agrees to play games at night. But during the day, he wants her to guide him around Lin Sheng. Talk about a sneaky trap. When she asks where he wants to go, he admits he is totally new to this city.
Did he transfer because of toxic teachers or academic rivals? Nah, it's not that dramatic.
He just felt his old school wasn't a fit and warns her not to pry into his past.
Getting too curious about someone is how you fall into the abyss. But is it really that deep?
She tells him to stop staring, but he's already locked in.
Then he warns her that the class snitch, Zhang Li, is staring. No way they're writing another pledge. They start bickering over whether she was bothering or harassing people before. She tells him to stop prying again. He literally copies her line about falling into the abyss, and she's like, "Pay up for copying me." Later, they are shopping, and she asks which brand he likes. Honestly, he doesn't care. Whatever she likes is fine. These two are just acting like a cute couple already. This is too adorable. Seriously, the fan in me is screaming at how perfect their vibe is. Back in class, the teacher tells everyone to learn from Qiao Jing, but she is totally spaced out. And just like that, she gets sent to stand at the back. But then the teacher lets her leave early because her dad is waiting at the gate. She's told to just relax and get used to the new school for now. But her family life is a whole different story. Her dad suddenly wants to take her to meet a new woman right now. He even called her out of class for this. She agrees, but the mood is definitely awkward. They arrive at the meeting and her dad introduces her as his lovely daughter, Qiao Jing. The woman acts super sweet, inviting Qiao Jing to sit next to her right away. But Qiao Jing just can't take this fake vibe and heads outside. She's trying not to cry, but then her classmate magically appears with a snack. He promises that carbs bring instant happiness.
He's literally trying everything to cheer up our sad female lead, offering her a sweet.
She asks where he got the candy, wondering if it's actually good. He promises he isn't lying, and she immediately wants another one. But he only has 3 left, so she has to savor them. She asks how he made them. Turns out the convenience store grandma taught him this traditional recipe.
She jokingly offers to hire him as her sugar master, but he says it's no big deal.
When she asks how to pay him back, he just wants her to call him handsome. She completely snaps at him for trying to be nice. Total tsundere energy right here.
Telling him to stop getting physical, she asks to pick a different favor instead.
Eventually, she agrees to a compromise, demanding he win her a plushie from that street stall without backing out. He jokes that she could just wear a dress for him on Sunday instead. The vendor immediately pitches to them, offering 10 rings for 20 yuan, 30 for 50, or 70 for 100. While Lin Sheng wants to buy 100, she stops him from overspending. 10 rings seem too few to him, but she says missing just means they lack destiny. She claims she is someone who always trusts destiny anyway. Before he can even answer, she takes her shot. Praising her pretty decent first attempt only gets him told to shut up. Offering him a turn, she is met with his insistence that she must win it. Suddenly, she actually lands a shot. Honestly, the romantic tension building up right here is so wholesome. They are completely vibing. Guarding her new plushie quickly, she laughs off his teasing about getting attached so fast. Insisting it is purely destiny, she proudly declares that she is keeping the little guy from now on. Naming him Wang Dadan instantly earns her a laugh from him for being super lame. Declaring she has to go for some errands, she watches him walk the wrong way trying to tag along. Her after-school wandering is just a much-needed moment of freedom to explore the world, she argues. Then she asks why he was sitting alone in the plaza crying earlier. He quickly denies crying, casually explaining that his dad is just busy on a blind date tonight. Stressing that he is not fragile like glass, he listens to her claim to be a master counselor. She calls him childish. He hands over his prized possessions and tells her to text him when she gets home safe. On his way back, his friend thinks he spots Qiao Jing by the streetlight, but he denies it. His friend teases him about his loyalty, but he just wanted to make sure she walked home safely. Before she heads inside, she unexpectedly promises to wear the dress on Sunday. The next day at school, her popularity is still off the charts, and he asks about a red building. Bragging about her grades, she says the auditorium is mainly used for giving awards to top students like her. He smiles and promises to bring her some homemade candy this Sunday. At this rate, these two are definitely heading towards something more than just friendship. Later, another girl approaches Lin Sheng, asking him to explain the classroom cleaning process. It is a total trap since saying no would ruin his gentlemanly reputation. Since he cares about his reputation, he reluctantly agrees to help her out.
Once they finish up, she suspiciously asks if he kept her late just to get some petty revenge.
He laughs it off and says he simply wants to treat her to dinner.
To show some appreciation for her help yesterday, he decided a nice dinner was the perfect move.
He asks her to pick a place, but she questions his true motives.
Teasing her playfully, he asks if she transferred schools only to fall for an incredibly handsome and caring guy like him.
She tells him to stop daydreaming, but he passionately defends his favorite web novels as essential spiritual food. They decide on a hot pot restaurant, and he quickly hails a cab for them.
The staff welcomes them warmly, and the waiter instantly recognizes Lin Sheng as a regular.
Our friendly waiter happily offers to lead them over to their usual table right away.
When asked for their order, the two decide on a split pot.
He orders his usual combo, leaving her quite curious about how often he actually visits.
So our main character, Lin Sheng, casually mentions he did the shop owner a massive favor, saving the place by accident.
Well, maybe not saving it entirely, but he remembers finding a crying little girl on the roadside one chilly evening. After talking things out, the shop owner gave him a lifetime 50% discount.
She calls him a good guy, but he feels like he is getting friend-zoned. What other card is she supposed to give? How about a best friend card?
She catches Lin Sheng taking a photo and asks what he is doing. He claims he is just blogging. He begs Qiao Jing to let him off the hook, hoping they can negotiate.
Qiao Jing jokingly warns him that if he takes another secret photo, she is going to confess to him. She spots their classmates ahead and panics. He says it is not embarrassing, but those gossipy kids love to exaggerate.
Once those guys know, the whole class knows, and if word gets to Zhonglili, they are absolutely doomed. The classmates spot them immediately. They are shocked to see the guy who claims to be single hanging out with a girl.
They start gossiping about a secret relationship, blaming their teachers and parents, while Lin Sheng desperately begs them to stop.
He yells that she is literally just his cousin. Oh, she is just his cousin? What were they even thinking? She asks him about it.
Qiao Jing pouts. It was just an excuse, and she has no interest in being his little sister. She would much rather be his big sister.
He asks how old she is, and she proudly says she is an adult born in April. She was born on April 5th, making her one day older than his April 6th. He jokes they were probably born around midnight. Lin Sheng claims his nurse was just slow to register him, but she tells him to accept her seniority. She brings up the photo she sent, and he calls it straight-up emotional blackmail.
She tells him not to flatter himself because she does not actually care about being his sister anyway.
Lin Sheng thinks she looks pretty cute when she is serious, though she is usually childish. He wonders if they are moving too fast.
He cuts his thoughts short to yell at Lin Fugui to shut up.
He tells the lazy dog its food is in the fridge, jokingly asking why it cannot just cook its own breakfast. Qiao Jing calls him early in the morning, asking if he forgot their plans. He panics, realizing he almost overslept. He admits he almost forgot, but thankfully his dog Lin Fugui woke him up in time to pick up her call. Qiao Jing tells him to hurry up because she is already packed and ready. He promises to rush over and suggests meeting near Wetland Park. For the first time, he feels underdressed. He starts wondering what kind of dress she will wear today. She usually wears soft, cozy sweaters, giving off that total gentle vibe. A dress would be a whole different story.
Qiao Jing texts him that she's sitting on a swing bench near the park entrance's kids' play area.
He spots her, but then things take a wild turn. A random little girl literally just called her mommy. Lin Sheng is speechless, asking what exactly is going on here. Qiao Jing explains she found the crying kid, bought her a lollipop to comfort her, and got dubbed Mom. Lin Sheng guesses the exact story, and she jokingly asks if he installed cameras on her. He knew she wanted him to rescue her. Suddenly, the kid asks if he is Mommy's boyfriend. He asks if the kid knows her home phone number, but she can't even count to 100. They already called the cops. The officers are on their way. Lin Sheng praises Qiao Jing, but she complains that he's treating her like a little kid. She reminds him he only turned 18 a few months ago. Suddenly, the kid's actual mother arrives, apologizing to her baby. But the little girl happily points at Qiao Jing, saying she has a new mom.
Qiao Jing instantly panics, telling the mother she never agreed to that, while the kid insists she did.
The parents thank them, explaining they were about to head to the countryside. They forgot to lock the door, and the little girl snuck out. Lin Sheng tells them not to worry. The grateful father offers to send them some reward money, but they immediately try to refuse.
He took in the kid right after arriving. Thank you so much. What about my...
Mom is shocked. How did he just find a cute daughter outside?
She wants him to find a lottery ticket worth $5 million next time.
He tells her she better actually mean that. She offers cold medicine, but he says he will just take photos instead.
She hates photos, but he promises his shots are social media worthy.
She warns him not to make her look ugly. He bets his entire career. He claims photos do not lie. No, you cannot have this. She looks stunning, so he tells her to stop dazing out and take a selfie. She asks if classmate Lin Sheng likes it, and he quietly agrees. She knows a nearby spot that is absolutely perfect for photos. I cannot imagine what I want your tears to do. If I feel like it hurts some more. He ran into some thugs, but tells her he will handle it. The weather is great. They arrive at the perfect photo spot. But wait, someone is already there. He takes a shot, but she complains it looks like an ID photo. She wanted something artistic for social media. He apologizes for missing her vision. Jungle? Even danger time? It is you. She forgives him and says he is pretty nice, asking for another shot. When she asks how to pose, he tells her to just relax. He teases her about kidnapping, then offers to buy her some boba tea. She accepts, but mentions the gadget he gave her ran out of battery. He is confused because a tiny gadget should last for a few days. She explains it fell into the bed gap and got squeezed. The switch got stuck, so it kept ringing all night, totally by accident. Yes, it rang all night by accident. All night. And show me you cannot even. She asks if classmate Lin Sheng is always this professional with his camera tools. He finds it crazy she slept through that noise. She claims she's a heavy sleeper. He says he believes her, but she does not really care either way. The bus comes in 15 minutes, so they need to hurry. She wants the window seat, and he agrees. Let us be real, Qiao Jing is built different, literally zero flaws in her looks. Watching the tide throw stones, eating and punching like we are leaves. He has a mansion, should be with Germany. How about you? I will give you much more. I want you. Maybe he was just too close to Qiao Jing. Close enough to see the mole near her eye, making him feel a bit strange. That is just a normal reaction when any guy sees a beautiful girl. But get this, Lin Sheng is the only guy in school who can talk to her. He is thanking the net cafe, his grandmother, and those candies for their closeness.
She asks if it is a trick box with a plastic snake inside.
She decides to open it anyway. I do not say anything. He hands her so much candy, proving he is definitely not stingy. She calls him a good person. Look at them, the chemistry is real. He asks if she's okay, and she tells him she is fine. She wants to go to the hospital, but he's like, nah, let's hit the net cafe. Classic gamer priority. Keep her on, my lady.
Fine, let's at least patch it up.
Honestly, if they wait even a few more minutes, this tiny scratch is going to heal on its own anyway. Totally unnecessary. She warns him not to peek, or he is totally disrespecting her hard work. He laughs, teasing her for throwing such a massive guilt trip. Suddenly, she stops playing, and he's like, hey, I'm not the type to ditch a teammate. He says he can't just ignore a sad friend and keep gaming, but she instantly denies it, claiming she's literally just playing Minesweeper. How typical of her. He jokingly asks if the Minesweeper Pro has lost her touch, bragging that he's basically a relationship guru who can solve all her problems. She softly apologizes, but he shrugs it off, asking why she's saying sorry before telling her to walk. He suggests taking a nice walk together before he walks her all the way home. She gently asks him if his hand still hurts. He jokes that he completely forgot the pain, but she calls him out because his hand was literally shaking the whole time. She asks if he's some kind of masochist for laughing while hurt, making him complain about how girls always label people. He teases her by asking if she's calling his mom, joking that introducing her to his family feels way too fast. He asks if she's feeling better, and she says she's not sad. He playfully agrees that she's totally fine, then explains his left hand was actually just shaking from holding up his heavy camera for too long. It was really just from holding the camera for too long, as the song sings about shining through. The music continues to swell in the background, singing about finding a way through the tightrope. He tells Qiao Jing to stop apologizing to him, especially over something as minor as this. If she really feels like she owes him, she can just pay him back later.
The emotional song lyrics continue to echo as they walk side by side in the night. He hesitates, asking if they're really just going to stay best friends forever, and honestly, the tension here is unreal. He just smiles and says, "See you tomorrow,"